Welcome to My PT Hub, your all-in-one platform designed to help you build and manage your personal training business with confidence. Whether you're working with clients in person, online, or a mix of both, My PT Hub brings everything you need into one streamlined system. In this video, I'm going to show you everything that's included so you can see exactly how the platform can help you deliver an exceptional client experience while growing your business effectively. So what you can see here in front of you is your hub. At the top, you can see your transactions to your total volume. This is just a snapshot of the last 7 days of everything that you've sold or clients have purchased from you. On your left-hand side, these will appear if you have overdue check-ins, if you need to review a check-in, or if you have an unread chat message as well. You have your quick action icons below from add contact all the way to start chat, but I'll show you how to do these in each individual area as we go through. You have your today's schedule, so anything that's on your calendar will populate. Through the middle, you'll see your activity feed where you can like and view clients' activity. You also have a filter icon so that you can change to view maybe just your clients' workouts. On the right hand side, you see your clients' compliance and also programs ending with either in the next 7 or 14 days. You can hit the 3 dots next to each one and message, pause, or end the program for that particular client. And by clicking the link or the arrow on the right-hand side of the client compliance, it will take you through to the main compliance area. But we'll go through that as we get there. At the top of your page, you'll see the add-ons, which is where you can buy any additional things to My PT Hub, including the white label app. You have the support, which will take you to our support portal, where you can book a call with the team. You can send an email to the team and also search all of our FAQs. We have a refer and earn section, so if you have other trainers that you want to refer to My PT Hub, you can earn money from doing so. We have all of our tutorial videos, which will give a basic overview of each of the areas and how to use it. You then also have your notifications, which you can see anything that your clients have been doing, and also your account. So if you add yourself as a client with the same email address, you will easily be able to switch between your trainer and your client account, and this can be done on the app also. Firstly, we'll go into the contacts area. Here is where you'll see an overview of all of your contacts profile cards. By clicking the 3 dots next to each one, you can either delete or freeze the account. You have your action icons to search for trainers, or if you just wanted to search for clients in your software, but also the filter option as well. If you have additional trainers in your platform, you can choose an additional trainer to view their clients also. If you go into a client's profile, you will see they'll have their own activity feed on the right-hand side, which is very similar to what you see on the hub. You have a filter icon, so if you wanted to select to view just their workouts or nutrition logs, you can do so. The 3 dots, you can edit the client personal details, you can reassign a client to another trainer, you can delete the client, and if they haven't activated their account, you can resend an activation email. Everything on the left-hand side, you have from integration all the way down to goals and interests. This is everything that's personal to the client, so things that they've been assigned or information. So you can go through here to view anything such as their check-ins or any communities that they're part of, along with anything they've been assigned, and if they're on any nutrition plans, programs, workouts, files and forms, you can all view it here. You can create client groups in the platform, and what a client group is a way you add a bunch of clients together to create this group. The clients don't know that they're in a group, but what it means for you as a trainer and a business, it makes everything from a management perspective that whole lot easier. What you'll notice at the bottom of every page that we go through, you can see there's a create button at the bottom. If you select create client group, it will give you the option to add a name. However, let's just go into one that we've already created called all clients. What you can see here is we can update the clients in this particular group. So we can say, let's add Ryan to this group. So now they're all in there. Now what I can do is I can assign them workouts, nutrition plans, check-ins. I can, assign them to a community, workout groups, nutrition groups, and programs. And that means they will receive all of that content at the same time. So for example, you could quite easily say, okay, let's have people that are following a particular program or on a particular package, and you want to update them with content, this is a great thing to do. When we go into client pool, so with a client pool, if you add a contact to your account, so onboarding a client, you can put in their first name, last name, email address, and that is just the required fields. However, when it says assign contact, you have the option to add them to a client pool. And what this means is that you add them here and it doesn't give them a trainer just yet. So there'll be no trainer that they're assigned to. What this means is you can bulk add multiple clients to your account, not assign them a trainer so they don't receive their activation email. So that when you then decide which trainer you want them to be assigned to, this is obviously if you've got multiple trainers in your business, then you can assign them to that trainer and then they'll get the activation email. We then also have the frozen contacts area. So this means that, you can freeze your contacts so that they have no access to their account. And once they do obviously get frozen, they can't log in, can't access any of their information. But quite simply, you can reactivate them. And that means that everything will be there as it was and they'll be able to log in. Now heading into our workouts area. The first thing I want to say or show you is all of the pre-made templates that we have. We can understand that coming onto a new software can be a little bit daunting. The thought of creating lots of workouts on the platform to assign to your client. We've eliminated all of that. You can go to, let's say, home workouts. You can view all of the workouts that we have. You can go through and you can select all the ones that you want. Or alternatively, you can just add them all if you want to, so add all plans. Or we can just tick the ones that we want and add selected plans. You'll see this in the workouts, the nutrition, and also the program section, but in the resources, which we'll cover in a little bit, it will have everything, all of the templates there, so you can browse as much as you like. So you have all of your workouts that you've created or added to your platform in the middle. You'll notice the ellipsis on the right-hand side, which will allow you to preview, edit, rename, duplicate and remove anyone that's been assigned to that particular workout. Assigned to clients directly, you can add and remove them to a client group, but also delete. So if I wanted to assign to a client, which is a very nice, easy way of a client getting access to this immediately, I can just say, okay, I want Joe Blogs to have this particular workout, update the assignments, and now that client will have access to that workout immediately from their device. So let's say we want to create the workout. Once again, we go to create workout at the bottom of the page, and we're going to say a nice easy one, an arms workout. What we can choose to do here is we can use an existing workout template. What this means is all the workouts that I've created will populate here, and I can use it as a template so I don't have to go through from scratch and start over again. However, for demo purposes, I will create this arms workout. So you can see here it's all empty, but on the right hand side you have all of our exercises. We have around 7,500 exercises, all with videos, or even just an image if maybe it's a pose or a yoga pose or something along those lines. So going back into this workout, you can see here I can just add the exercises by hitting the plus icon. I can filter, so I can search via biceps, I can search via forearms, however I want it to be. So essentially I can go through and I can essentially start building my workout however I want it to be. So I'll do a nice simple one, just a bunch of curls. Let's see if we've got some triceps in here. And get rid of these forearms and biceps ones. Brilliant. So let's see how we get. Ignore the set. It's not the most amazing arms workout. However, you can see here that I can change the filter as well to show my custom exercises. So I'll show you a little bit later on, but we can choose to have custom exercises, which is great. On the right hand side, once again, you can see recently used, frequently used, and also you can create a new exercise as well. If you can't find one in our database or you wanted to add one that you forgot to add, absolutely no problem. So with each exercise, you can add a note. So you can say add weight if too easy. For example, I can change it to reps, rep range, as many reps as possible, however you want it to be. I can keep the tempo in, I can do a rest period, I can change it to, 1 rep max percentage, Completely your choice. So just for demo purposes, I'm going to put this as 15. But with these workouts templates, what I just want to remind you of is that these workouts can be assigned to multiple people at the same time. So you don't, this doesn't have to be one for one particular client, but it can be. It's completely up to you, and it's how you choose to program. But let's say I do this and I add set. Amazing. I can go through and I can do that for all of my exercises. I can group them together if maybe I wanted to do a little circuit or I wanted to do a superset. Absolutely can do that. So now you can see it's done the same amount of sets, as the one it's linked to. Under each area, you can see the details. So I can add a workout image. I can put a description, notes, and also any files in here. So this is just to give your client as much information as you want to give. I can print the workout. I can also collapse it so I can see it in a little bit of a better form, so I can see what's going on here. And also I can move them about. So if I want to say, okay, I actually want this one at the top, I can apply, and also I can then save the changes. So once that's been saved, great. I can now start assigning it to clients. I can put it in client groups. I can sell it in packages, however you want that to be. Just going into workout groups. This is very similar to the contact groups. Other than the fact that, they're a bunch of workouts together. So you can see here, I've got, let's say I wanted to create one. I go to create workout at the bottom of the page. But just for demo purposes, I'll go to this body weight one. You can see here, I've got all of my body weight workouts that I have. I can go to details. I can add an image and description. But what this means is I can assign a bunch of workouts to either an individual client, like here, or so let's just say I pick Ryan once again. Ryan now has access to all of those workouts, and you see this tab at the top here, make groups visible to all clients. What that means is that if I turn that off, the client would still have access to all of these workouts. However, when the client goes to their workouts in particular, it will show that they're in a group. So it just makes it a lot easier for the client to say, okay, I'm trying to find a workout that is a body weight workout, and so on. So you can see how nice and easy that will be for the client. Now in our exercise area, you'll be able to search and view all of the 7,000 exercises that we have with videos. You can also build your workouts from here, from dragging and dropping, and then pressing create workout, which you can then type in the workout name and it will take you to the workout builder. However, from here, we're talking about the custom exercises. What you can do is you can create custom exercises. So if there's maybe a workout that isn't on our database, or you name it something ever so slightly different, then you can create a custom exercise from this icon at the bottom of the page. You might say, okay, this is going to be a bicep curl. And what you have the opportunity to do is to use an existing template. So what that means is that if we just say, okay, I'm going to use bicep curl, it will then find the exercise. So let's do some rotating alternate bicep curls. And what we can do is we can create it from here. So it will populate with all of the information so that I don't have to type in the description again. I don't have to type in the exercise breakdown, and it will give me the video. So you can chop and change this as much as you like, or if you are creating that exercise from scratch, this will all be blank, so you can enter it as much as you like. What you can do is you can upload either a video or an image to an exercise, and once you do this, it will give you the option to upload from YouTube, Vimeo, or directly from your device. So you just simply need to type in the video title and the URL and save it. Once you've done that, you will then be able to add this exercise to your workouts. Heading to your nutrition area. Once again, you have lots of pre-made templates that we've done for you at the top of your page. And if you do want to find more, you can go to the resources section. To click on these, you can view these, you select them, and you can click those particular plans. You can view what's in that plan and the calories for each food item. And then you can simply add that plan to your account, which you can then assign to clients. Once again, you'll populate all of your nutrition plans in the main list, and you'll have your create nutrition plan at the bottom. And you also have the 3 dots, the ellipsis, on the right hand side next to each plan, so you can assign to clients, duplicate and remove, edit, preview, rename and delete, all of those options. If we want to go through and create a nutrition plan from scratch, you select the icon at the bottom, create nutrition plan. Once again, you can use an existing nutrition plan as a template. So if you don't want to go through and add all the food items and etc. once again, but for this particular purpose, we will do, let's say, Ryan's nutrition. Once you're in the nutrition plan creation area, you have the option at the top to hit the toggle to select whether you want a calorie target or whether you want the calorie target and the macros. So if you go for a percentage, it will allow you to type in, let's say, 2,500 calories. I can then do a percentage of protein, carbs and fats to equal 100%. Then by changing back to grams, it will then automatically calculate it for me. You have the same options like you do with each plan that you create. So whether that's programs or workouts, you have this details area which you can add in an image, description, notes and files, and just any information you want the clients to have. You can then say, okay, I want to rename this particular, rather than it be called breakfast, I might want to call this meal 1. And so on, and you can rename your meals, you can delete meals, and you can add meals at the bottom of the page. If you wanted to search for a food item or a drink, then you can absolutely do so. So you go here and you can then just say, I want pancakes. For example, plain pancakes, and it will give you the serving size. So it was 200 grams of pancakes. And then you can start going through and you can start building out your particular meal. You do not have to add food items in. You can allow clients to search for these food items. We use one of the world's largest verified nutrition databases. So they can use the barcode scanner. They can search for the food items. But if you wanted to add them, they can simply tick these off, but they can also add their own as well. You can add a note to each particular food, each particular meal, and also you can save this meal. So if you, let's say you've created a nice breakfast and you want to use that in other nutrition plans going forward, you can save it as a meal, and then when you go to add meals at the bottom, it will then appear in the future. So once you're happy with that, you can save your plan. It will be there straight away, and now I can assign that to my client, and this, well, let's say I assign it to Ryan. Ryan can log against that right away. So each day he can pick that plan to log against, and it will be a nice little chart on the client's app to say, this is what you've had today. Each time they tick off food items, this is what you've got remaining, and this is your breakdown in proteins, carbs and fats. Once again, we have a groups area. So you have nutrition groups. So very similar to the workout groups, you can put a bunch of nutrition plans together. So you might have a few nutrition plans that are 2,000 calories. So I might say, okay, well, actually what I want to do is I want to assign these nutrition plans to clients that are all roughly around the 2,000 calorie mark. Because then that just means they've got a few options of plans and they don't have to log against the same plan every day. You can create custom food items here. So what this means is that, let's say, for instance, there's a new food item and it's not on the database just as of yet, or maybe you've created something else, whatever that might be, you can go through and you can create your food item by hitting the icon at the bottom of the page. You can type in the name, the serving size, the unit of measurement, and so forth. And then once you've changed that and you've saved it, it'll populate in your list, and then you can start adding these to your nutrition plans when you're searching for the food item, and clients can also. You can also create meals. So as I showed you earlier, when creating your nutrition plan, it gives you at the bottom of the page to add a meal. These will be from all the meals that you've saved. So you can see here protein pancakes all the way up, and simply I can click on these and I can edit them as much as I like. This will not, if I edit this, it won't update immediately from what's in the client's nutrition plan because their macros might match what it is that you've done. But when you then add this to future plans, it will then update accordingly. So yeah, all of these meals, can be added to your nutrition plans. And just lastly, we have the generate macros option. So what we do is, let's say you're, not big into your nutrition, or it's not something you usually consider doing for your clients. Hopefully what we've been able to do for you here is you can generate your client's macros. So if you hit the three dots next to it, you can edit your client's details, or it will say generate macros. You type in all of their particular details. You say what their goal is, so fat loss, maintenance, muscle gain. And then what it will do is it'll give you the option to generate macros. And this is the calories that they'll need, the percentages. And I can either assign this directly to my client now, so they'll have a nutrition plan with this calorie target. Alternatively, I can build a nutrition plan from here. If you do think this number's inaccurate, or in the sense of maybe it's a little bit too high, a little bit too low, because we do use the Mifflin St. Muir or Harris-Benedict formula, which of course, not 100% accurate, and especially with, client requirements and different needs. Then you can also, when you're building your nutrition plan from your macros, which this will then take me to, I can now change this to percentages. And let's say, okay, I want to change this to maybe 2,700 is more accurate. And then when I change back to grams, it will update and I can save that. If I go back to the generate macros, it won't update for the new amount I've changed on there, because that's just me changing the plan that was generated from this. So if you go back here, it will be what the actual calculation created from that. Now we move on to the programs area. And once again, we have lots of pre-made programs that you can use at the top of the page. And you can just add that entire plan and give a good insight into what's included. You can click on the workouts if you wanted to view what's in that particular workout. But yes, please do feel free to use these as much as you like. You can add the plan to you. All the workouts will populate into your workouts area, and they'll populate into a workout group immediately. However, what a program is, it's something you can create over a week, 2 weeks, however many weeks that you want it to be, and it's something quite structured that your client will follow. So to create a program, what you can do is you can say create program at the bottom of the page and create. What you can do, you can add things to each particular day. So day 1, we might just say, okay, I want them to add a photo and measurement update. Day 2, it might be a PM workout. And just to note, AM and PM workouts are not structured in the sense clients can do this on any time of the day. It's just for push notification purposes. We can add in a rest day. We can add in nutrition. We can add in an automated message. So we can say, okay, I want this to say, hey, first name, how are you getting on? Anything I can do to help. And I want this to go at, maybe let's say 9:04, just so it seems a little bit more natural. And this will go at the client's time zone. I can add that. I can add something to the entire week. So I might say, okay, if this program's specifically for Ryan, because, once again, you can create a program which can be assigned to multiple people, and they can just follow it. It could be fairly more generic workouts, and they can add in their own information. Alternatively, it could be very specific, like this one here. So I'm going to make this nice and specific for Ryan, and I'm going to say, let's make this a rest day, and then one more workout here. So please ignore all of the workouts that I put in there. I understand, probably not the best schedule. However, what I can do now is I can duplicate, so it can create me this exact week. So I can say, okay, going forward from here, it means I'm going to have an update photo and update measurements. I can remove those. I can change this particular message if I want to, and say, how are you getting on? Do it. Looking forward to week 3, and so on. And you can build this over as many weeks as you like. There's a few other icons which you can say, I can duplicate this week onto another template I have. I can delete this week. I can add details as well. So I can add the image, a description. But just something really handy to notice is the program settings. So suggested morning and evening workout times, sorry. This will populate onto their calendars at these times, and it will send them a push notification. What also you have the option for is that when you add a program to a client's profile, when they finish it, you can remove all of the workouts from their profile, not their data that they've logged, but the templates. So you can say, I want these to be removed once the program ends. The reason being is it may be that you want them to buy something else from you. It may not be relevant, but there may be a case of actually, no, they can have access to all those workouts. Then lastly, you can have this program follow another, or another one follow this, should I say. So now what I've done is said, once this program finishes for Ryan, and he's going to go straight to the 5K to half marathon plan that we've got. So once we've saved these changes, it takes you back to the main template area. I can hit the 3 dots next to it and I can assign to client, assign to client group, all the usual suspects. And I can assign that to Ryan with either a start date or allow them to pick their own start date. Then we go through to the compliance section. So what the compliance area is that it will show all of your clients that are on a program, what program they're on, the duration, days completed, days remaining, and their client compliance. You can change this to red, amber, and green. So let's say they're under 20%, they might be in red. Amber, between 21% and 80%, and then 81% and above might be in green. But you can change that in your settings, which I'll show you later. But if I wanted to view this client's particular program, I can click on it, I can change it, I can view it from here, and I can see what it is they completed. So this is a tick next to all the days. There'd be a little tick next to each one of these completed. But going back to the compliance area, by hitting the 3 dots next to it, I can message, pause, and also end the program. So I might just want to give them a little nudge to say, hey, I can see you've done nothing so far. Is there anything I can do to help? And then just for, the filtering of this, you might say, let's say you've got 30 people on a program. I want to select it by anyone that's in the red category. It will then just show me all of the people in this red category. Now, check-ins. Our automated check-in area is a very powerful tool which will save you hours of time. And I just want to show you how it is that you can create a check-in, what happens when a client completes it, and so on. So what you can do is you can select create check-in at the bottom of the page, which will allow you to then input the name. You can use one as an existing template as well, but I'll show you one that we've already got created. So if we go into check-in, it will take you through these particular steps. So let's start from the beginning. It gives you a description. So it shows you what it is maybe the client needs to see about this particular check-in. It gives you the questions that you're going to ask. So measurements, updates, how's your week been? Is there anything else you'd like to change about this week? Are you ready for this week? But you can ask whatever questions you want, all from the options in the right-hand side. You can select the questions as mandatory. You can bin the questions. You can reorder the questions, all of the usual stuff that we've seen on previous pages. Then we go to schedule. So we say, okay, how often do we want this client to complete a check-in? Do we want it to be weekly, which is obviously quite a common one in a personal training world? So in this instance, I've gone weekly, but we can do bi-weekly, monthly, however you want to do it. And you can say, okay, I want this to start every Monday. I want this to open. It's going to be after 2 days. If they haven't completed it, it's going to go into an overdue state. So it's going to put them in this overdue area, and they're going to get a notification saying your check-in is overdue, but after 4 days, closed. They cannot complete this. They'll have to wait for the next check-in, and it will come across that they've missed it. We then go to notifications, so we can send them a push notification when the check-in opens and also when the check-in becomes overdue. Do you want push notifications? Do you want email? So untick them and tick them and have whatever you want. You can then review this and we can then press save. So once you're happy with your check-in, once again, you can then hit the 3 dots. You can assign it to clients, client groups, you name it, then clients will complete this. What you will see here is then an inbox. So anyone that's completed their check-in, you can review here. So it will go into your inbox. So you might have 10 people that have completed their check-in and you can go to ready for review and you can compare their previous check-ins. Unfortunately, they've got none available, but you'll be able to compare them side by side. You can then write a response or leave a voice note as feedback. It's got all the formatting options to make this nice. You can add in links. If you want to send a video feedback, which is common, or you want to use Loom, just copy and paste the link into here. However, something amazing that we've got is this Write with AI. So this could save you hours of time, and it is an add-on on the platform. But let's just say I do writing with AI. What this will do, this will gather all of the data. It will compare previous check-ins. It will say how they've got in over the week. You can change your AI settings here to say how responsive you want it to be. So here you can say, fantastic check-in, your positive energy is absolutely contagious and it's clear. This will develop over time. It will go from your responses, how you sound, but you can also add in prompts as well. You can add in prompts for this client in particular. So you might say, always refer to them as John O or something like that. Or you can do it from your main settings page if it's more of a generic one. So it gathers all the data. We'll compare it. I can mark it as reviewed. The client will then get a notification, say your check-in has been reviewed. They can reply to it if they want to, and so on. If a client's overdue, they'll be here. You can send them a nudge, or you can send them a message. A nudge, a little push notification, say, come on, complete it. And then, as I said before, your AI settings, this is where you can be a little bit more casual, balanced, motivational, emoji level, whether you want it to be bullet points, paragraphs, what data do you want them to include? If they've hit any personal bests, do you want that in there? And I say if they don't have much previous data, ensure they log as much as possible going forward. So that's just one of the prompts that I've put in, but there's loads of different things that you can do in here. But this automation, so sending the prompts, getting clients to complete their check-ins, it's all done for you. There's no more chasing up, and also the AI response will save you hours of time rather than going back through that information and trying to find that. So it will allow you to scale much, much quicker. Moving to packages. With My PT Hub, you can connect your packages area to Stripe. So once your area is connected to Stripe, you can then create packages to sell to your clients. You have the option of both a personal and a company account. What I will say is that to explain the difference between those two, a company account will definitely be for if you have additional trainers. However, if you do not have additional trainers, use the personal account. To find out more, head to our FAQs and we can explain a little bit more about what the company account is if you're looking to have more trainers on your account, or contact support and we can run through the different methods with you. However, once again, you have the option to create a package at the bottom of your page. However, what I will do is I'll go through the one that we already have so you can see the example. So you have many different options of creating a package. So first you have your image in the details area, the name of your package, short and long descriptions, which you can format, what information you'd like your customers to see once they've purchased, which will be like a pop-up box, what areas of fitness this covers. You can add a promotional video, and also there's a welcome email that you can attach a web link. So maybe it might be some form of group or something else, and a PDF document. You then have the assignments option where you can have programs, workouts, nutrition plans, client groups and files. The amazing thing about client groups is that you can filter them directly into a client group, which they will then have access to everything that's already assigned to that workout group. So it's great for like a subscription service. Availability, you can have this as public, clients only and invite only. So invite only is anyone that you send the link to. Clients only will just be clients that are in your database already. They can go to their marketplace and purchase this. And public is anyone in the world can go to your My PT Hub domain and they can buy this package from you, which will automatically create them as a client. You have the option for available now. Is it available all the time? These are dates where it starts and ends. So you can leave these on for the package to be purchased all the time. And do you want to invite clients to package? This will send them an email, which they will receive, and they can click on the link to buy the package from you. You can make packages free. So this is a great one if you want to onboard clients. It won't ask for any card details. So you can say, maybe create this package as an onboarding package. And once you do this as free, it won't ask for any card details and they'll create their account. You can do recurring payments, or you can do a package for a set period of time. So it's just one payment, as well as doesn't expire. So it will just remain on their profile at all times. But in this instance, you can see I've done recurring, repeats every month. The package price is going to be £100 a month. I can list the number of sales, so I can say only 10 purchases can be made of this package. I can allocate sessions and credits to this package as well. Once I'm happy with that, I can update this particular package, and then clients can then start purchasing from me. I can hit the three dots next to the package where I can get a share link, which I can either use as a text share, a share button, which I can maybe put on an external website, or a share URL for Facebook, Instagram, and other social profiles. We have a credit package as well, which is a little icon at the top here, and it will allow you to create a credit package. When you first go in and create the package, it will be here populated. All you can add to this package is credits. So in this instance, you can say I've got 50 credits, and I'll explain a little bit more when we go into the calendar area and events as to what a credit package is. On what credits are and what clients can use to book into those. But essentially, it's used as a top-up package. So they buy credits from you. They can use those credits. Once they run out, they can buy that credit package as many times as they want. You then have the vouchers area. So you can create different vouchers for your clients. So you might say, okay, I want to give clients 20% off. You can do a percentage base, or you can do a fixed amount. You can say it's one time. So it's only going to be used one time, or it's repeating. So it might say, okay, I want to use this for maybe 2 months. And also redeemed by, so they have to redeem it by this, otherwise it won't work. Also, you can connect it to specific packages. So I can say, well, if they've purchased all of these packages, or they go to purchase all these packages, that code can be used for all of them, which is a great thing to do in the sense of you want to create a 100% discount for one particular package for expires in a week's time. You wouldn't want clients to go into another package to be able to use that code. And then we have financials. So this will just pull through any data from Stripe. And you can change the date range. You can do billing and invoices, balance and transfers, and even add receipts as well. So if people pay you via cash or bank transfer, you can add all of that information here. Next is communities. So communities is an area in which you can create a community which clients can join, or you can add clients to it, where you can share all of your thoughts and information, and clients can do the same, and they can interact with one another. So firstly, the way you can create a community is with the icon at the bottom, where you can put the community name and press create. But what we'll do is we will go into an existing one. You'll have the option to add an image at the top. So on this banner, you can edit and reposition and save. You can add all of your information or a new post, which could be a media, a GIF, or whatever that might be. You can even say that you want to schedule this post. So you say, okay, actually, I want to schedule this for maybe tomorrow at a certain period. You can like, and all clients as well can like and comment on existing posts. You can manage your members and moderators here. So you can say, okay, I would like to add all of my clients to this particular community. But also I want an additional trainer to be a moderator as well. So I want them to be able to control the posts. You can write a little bit about the community. You can decide whether you want comments on posts as well. You can pin particular ones. You can favorite posts, but most importantly, your settings, where you can control whether it's global, public, or private. You can say how the display names show for other clients. So whether you want their full name, first name, or initial only. Post settings, so who can post, and also the option to require approval before posting the community. And then lastly, you can archive. So by archiving, we'll go into this particular area, which you can always then restore. Habits. So when you go into this habits area, it'll ask you if you want to pre-populate habits that we've already created. So you can do so, and there'll be a bunch of habits on your account. To create a habit, you can hit create habit at the bottom, and we can see that if we type in drink 1 litre of water per day, let's change that to 2. You can change it as one time or multiple. It's all done on a daily basis. So we only want them to drink 2 litres per day, one time per day. We don't want to do that on multiple times. You can then change the icon or colour. So we can maybe change it to a nice blue and maybe something else. We'll leave the icon as it is for now. The water makes a lot of sense. And also you can add in coaching tips as well. So if there's anything you want to add to this particular habit, then you can do so. Once you've created it, you can hit the 3 dots next to the habit where you can assign it, or you can assign to client groups, archive, duplicate, all the usual suspects that you'll see on the ellipsis icon. Once you assign this to a habit, clients will receive a push notification every day of what it is that they need to do, and they can tick it off from their hub. If you want to archive a habit, you can absolutely do so, and it will go into this particular area, which you can then always restore at a later date. We then arrive into our marketing area. And what we do is we provide a My Site for you, where it is you can add an image or a header, your title and description with your branding colours. Any additional trainers you can show here if you want to. You have some custom slots, so if there's something you want to add, so such as like a particular product that you want them to view or be able to purchase, then you can do that, and you can add the link there as well. So anyone that goes to your homepage will see those custom slots along with any featured packages. So all of your packages will give you the option to add here. And so that on from your My Site, which you can log out at the end so you can get an example as to exactly how it will look, can go on and they can buy those packages and they'll set up their account. You can add some testimonials through here. You can add your social profiles, a little bit about you, and also your contact email address. With this, if you'd like to do your tracking, you can add your Facebook tracking ID, your AWIN tracking ID, and your Google Analytics ID as well. And something amazing that we have is the Google Ads integration. So what you can do is you can set up a Google Ads account through here, and we give you recommendations of budget per day. However, you can promote your packages through Google Ads directly through My PT Hub in a very, very simple integration, which can sometimes be a little bit complicated going directly through Google. So if you're wanting to get new leads and wanting to look at another stream of getting those new leads and customers and clients, then this may be a great option for you. Going into our resources area, you have templates, partner offers, and also media, which I'll go through a little bit of detail in each. So our templates, I've mentioned it a few times throughout this video, but your workouts, your nutrition plans, your programs, they are all in here, which you can use as much as you like at no cost whatsoever. There are quite simply hundreds of templates which you can use. You can add to your profile and you can assign to your clients. If you want to make any changes to them, once you've added to your profile, you can then absolutely edit those before assigning. We have partner offers as well. So if there's any offers, we work with multiple different partners across the globe, which give you, particular discounts or whatever that might be. You can find this in the partner offers here. So always worth checking out. Hopefully you can make a saving. And then also we have some media. So we have some hubcasts, which we've done previously, a masterclass, which might be helpful for helping you set up your account, but also an ebook as well, which might be useful for you. Next, we have the calendar, a really important feature within My PT Hub, where you can book one-to-one sessions, but also classes, which clients can book into. So you have the options for both sessions and credits, which I've mentioned when creating packages. The way that clients can get credits and sessions from you is either you can gift them in their profile, or alternatively, as mentioned, they can buy in a package from you. So to get started, you may want to go to your events area. What you can do is you can create an event and type in a name. What it will then say is how many spaces are available, the event color, is there a waiting list? So if a client, let's say 10 people book in, someone drops out, anyone that was on the waiting list will then be sent an email and they can book in on a first come, first served basis. You can make this event free, or you can have it so credits are required. There's also a detail section where you can add a nice image and also a description on the class as well. Once you're happy with that, you can save the changes and you can book an activity. So the first things first is you can book maybe just a one-to-one session. So we can say session. We can put Joe Blogs. We can put a date and a time. So we're going to say maybe for the 12th at 7 p.m. and this is going to be a 45-minute session. You can make this recurring and also you can add a workout to this. So this is a session I've booked in for my client. When the time arrives and the session takes place with that particular client, which is here, I on my mobile app can start the workout, complete the workout, and at the option it will give me it will say, would you like to deduct a session from this client? So if they have bought sessions from you or you've gifted sessions in their profile, this is how you do your sessions. However, if you want to do classes, this is all done through events. And once again, you can do PT sessions through events as well. You just need to create an event that's PT session, one person, and anyone can then book in. But I'll let you use your imagination on what you can use the events for, whether it's phone calls, classes, online classes, you name it. Essentially, what you can do is choose an event template. So this is the event that we've just created. You can then say, let's do a functional fitness class. And we're going to have it tomorrow, just after that session that we had with Joe. So at 8 p.m. tomorrow, I can add an event location if I want to, or if I wanted to add a stream URL, so it's going to be hosted on Zoom, and then I can put the password in here, then I can absolutely do so. I can add a workout if I want to, but yes, the only thing you're missing is the attending trainers. So I need to make sure that I'm the trainer attending, which means that all of my clients can book in. If you have additional trainers, of course, you can add them and their clients can book in too. So we can book the activity in. We can now see that the functional fitness class is tomorrow. So because this event that we've created, so if we go back to here, functional fitness class requires 1 credit. Clients from their mobile app will be able to go onto their hub, press book event, and they can see all of the events in here. Providing they have the required credits on their profile, they can book into here, and I will see all of my clients when they book in. So you can see here it says 0 out of 10, but when client books in, it will say 1 out of 10. If you want to go through this in a little bit more detail, please do book a call in with one of our amazing support team, and we can go through all of the different options that you have with events, but very much can be used for one-to-one sessions still if you just don't want to have the one-to-one sessions. These ones I booked in, like with Joe here, this is only viewable between me and that particular client on our calendar. Other clients will not be able to see this. They will only be able to see your events you've booked into your calendar. I won't say too much on chat. However, with my PT Hub, you can keep everything within one platform, including communication, which is vitally important. When you create a chat, you have the option of one-to-one chat. You can create a group chat with just all of your clients in, and you can communicate together. Alternatively, you can send a broadcast message, which will send to all of your clients individually the exact same message. But as you can see here, there's lots of different things that you can do. You can also add voice notes, you can send gifts, you can send a link, which could be maybe a link to a particular package that you want to sell. So very good for marketing purposes. But also you can schedule messages. So I can say, right, I'm going to schedule this for 7 p.m. and that will then send. And you can see here, I can go in and edit that if I want to. You can see all of your broadcasts that you've created here and any archive chats. But one of the most amazing things that we have is this automated messages area. So what we can do is you can create or set up messages. So for instance, a first login to a client's birthday, workouts log, nutrition, packages. And you can edit the message that's sent to them. So this one you can see here, it's sent between 9 and 10 a.m. on their birthday. You can say happy birthday, first name, which will populate with their first name. Have a great day. Save and turn this on. Now, on that client's birthday, providing they've inputted it, it will send them that lovely message that you've created. So it's easy for you to remember. Files is a very simple area of my PT Hub, but extremely powerful. You can upload files, which could be PDFs, this could be images, videos, you name it, and you can upload it to here. So it might be some terms and conditions you have. The reason this is so important is that, as you remember, in the workouts area or programs and nutrition, you can upload a file in the details section, as I mentioned, to that particular plan. So if there's any like information or maybe a recipe book or whatever it might be that you might feel applicable to that particular plan, this is a great thing to upload and attach. You can also upload a file to a form, which I'll show you in just a second, and we're going to go on to forms, but you can see here that I've created one called terms and conditions. So I'm going to go straight into forms from here. What you can do is you can create a form. So you can add in a name, whether it's a waiver, whether it is an onboarding questionnaire, you name it, you can ask the questions. So you can see here we've got beginner waiver. So I'm just going to go into one that we've already created. So it goes through, and I've added all of these different questions. So you can see here, very similar to the check-in builder. So you've got mandatory, you can add in details and delete. But this is what I mean by adding in a file. So what I could do, I could add in a file, I could add in my terms and conditions, and then something at the bottom of the page which I can add, which is a e-signature. So this just means that I am adding a e-signature to a particular form which clients will sign, and also they will be able to see that file that I've attached to that form. So once I've saved that, I can then have the option to show this in the sign up process, or I can hit the three dots to assign it to my clients, which, as I should have mentioned, is the same, of course, on files. You have that ellipsis, which you can assign files to clients, and the same with forms, so I can assign them. You also have the option, as I said, to show in the sign up process. This means that any new clients that come on board, whether you're adding them as a client manually, whether they're buying a package from you, or even a free package, they will go through and they will complete this, and the answers will save in their particular profile. We then have our add-on area. I mean, ignore the pricing as this is a demo account, but we have the option for the white label app, which is where your app will be available on both the Apple and Google Play Store. We have Check-ins AI, which is an amazing feature that when you're using check-ins, as I've showed you earlier, you can press that little AI button. It will populate all of the information and the response to you. You can add additional trainers to your account. You can purchase a branded app. So what this means is that when clients log into their account, and you do on your app, the app icon will change to your logo. It will still say My PT Hub underneath, and which is obviously, of course, why it's different to the white label. However, nevertheless, very good for marketing and branding. And also you can purchase additional storage. And then just lastly, we have the settings area. So you can add in your own personal details, you can change your business details, email, password, manage subscription, download all of your invoices, but also see your measurement units, which you can obviously change. It will default to, the country that you're in and your normal metrics. However, if it can't pick that up, either you haven't entered your country or it couldn't get it from your IP, then you can change this here. Under customization, you can change your company name and also your company domain name, in the sense of this will now say My PT Hub trainer account.mypthub.net, but providing it's available, you can change it to anything that it suits. You can change your theming, and such an important thing to do. So we've defaulted here to the My PT Hub colors. You can got other ways in which you can change it, but of course you can put custom colors as well, so you can choose your own if you wanted to. However, I'll change that for now. You can change your logo, so what appears in the app. This is of course all free. This is not an additional cost. You can change your branding as much as you want within your account. Then we just have features where you can control all of your notifications. You can sync your sessions to your external calendar. Permissions, so if you have additional trainers on here as well, it will say whether you ask them whether you want them to be able to book in events or sell packages, but you can turn that off. You can say how far in advance clients can book into your calendar. So I say, okay, I might want it to be for 2 weeks. The notice periods, so how far in advance clients can cancel with an event and session, you can choose here. So we might say 24 hours for both. Update permissions. With programs, this is where you can do the client compliance, like I was saying. So I might say anything under 20% is red, and then anything over 80% is green. So then you can see that will then update straight away on that particular one. So what we've done there is we've gone through all of the sections on My PT Hub in different areas. And just the last thing, as I want to show you, firstly, add yourself as a client with the email address that's connected to your account, and you'll have this option, and you can switch quite easily like so. And you can start seeing how it will look for a client, both on the web browser, and also on the mobile app. But the last thing to leave you with, of course, is your My Site page. This is something that you can send to anyone in the world, and they will be able to view this, buy your packages for any that you've got available, submit a contact form. You can go to your store, you can see all of the different packages that you've got available to purchase. And of course, there's a contact and login option for existing clients. If you have any questions at all, please do book a call or email or live chat with our amazing support team, who are here to help you every step of the way.